Now, all these houses covered, or all these mounds covered house sites. And we know this for sure because this is from this fanciful drawing, that down the road, someplace where Wes Clark spent a lot of time back in the 70s, this is the base of the Harness Mound. The Harness Mound was a large mound. It was excavated over and over, and everybody thought all the goodies were up in the fill. Dr. Grieber of the Cleveland Museum excavated this and found out that actually the secret of the mound was what was underneath of it. And you have two large buildings here, a square building here, sort of like the shape of Mount City, connected to another one with a causeway between and some sort of an approach, almost, and then surrounded by an outer wall of posts, almost like an earthwork. That their houses were the earthworks were their houses, that their life and their art and their belief system was all in one. So it doesn't make any difference how big their artifacts are, it relates to their iconography. That these mounds and earthworks are just the largest versions of the artifacts that they created.
Okay, Bill?
Yeah.
They've got about 10 minutes before they have to go to the next program.
Okay. This is Hopewell Earthworks. This is where it all began. Large 110-acre enclosure on the banks of the North Fork of the Paint Creek, just west of Chillicothe. Large square here and several mounds on the inside. There's not much left of it to look at. It's been farmed over and over and over. This is one of the walls, and the only way you can actually see it is when it's a little bit of snow cover on the ground. This is what archaeology was all about in the 1800s. A team of mules and a slip pan. What they would do was cut a big groove in the mound, throw the dirt behind them, and then when they came to something like a burial or something interesting, they'd sort of tunnel into it and take the goodies out and throw the dirt behind them and sort of chew their way through it like Pac-Man, I suppose. So you take a large mound like this, Mound 25, which is, actually this is on an angle, it's as big as a city block with the fellow standing on top, that this is what it looked like in the 1890s. This is what it looks like today, just sort of removed from the landscape. That if you don't know what pile of dirt to look at in that field, you'll not know where this mound, magnificent mound, and this is where all the stuff you hear of Hopewell artifacts, the obsidians, the copper, the mica, all the fancy artifacts that you'll see at the Historical Center came from Mound 25, and this what is now just another pile of dirt in a bean field in Ross County. Well, a lot of this was attributed to this fellow named Warren Moorhead, who was an active antiquarian and early archaeologist in the late 1800s. He was all over the place. He was in Maine, he was in Pennsylvania, in Ohio, in Illinois, in the Southwest, and went everywhere. Here he is at Fort Ancient. This is the Anderson Village. You can see this is a very Victorian scene here. You notice that this lady's holding a skull. This guy's got a skull making it talk, and there's some people over here. They've got a couple of leg bones holding it up like we're sword fighting with some guy's leg. But these guys sort of paid his way. I mean, his grandmother was rich and gave him a lot of money, but he still had to hustle for funds. So what a perfect Victorian way to spend a nice sunny afternoon, go to the old Indian fort and make this guy talk that hadn't said anything for 2,000 years.